Welcome back to JW News. And today on the World News, we are going to take you to the United States. And if you follow me here on the map, we're going to zoom in to the state of Pennsylvania. Now, this is a state that is going hard on Jehovah's Witnesses right now with legal battles all over the state. They have subpoenas to confiscate records. And we're gonna share one story with you to show what's happened. And we're gonna go right to the county of York, right here. And we're gonna look at this article. Now, this is recent news. This article, I was just going over it. It's from today, July 9th of 2023. So this is brand new news in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I'll post a link to this in the description below as always. So this is talking about shredding evidence of abuse. And I'll let the article do its speaking because it does a very good job. So here's a lady. It says, in helping girls halfway around the world. This is Sarah Brooks, raised as a Jehovah's Witness. And she was sexually abused for about 2 years when she was a teenager by a male family friend and a former sister-in-law. And she is shown here in a room in her home that she's used as a painting studio. And she is surrounded by some of her paintings in Felton, Pennsylvania. And this is Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. Now, Sarah continues art therapy as a means of coping with her past abuse. And this is the case with a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that come out to cope with the traumas or to cope with things. A lot of them get into the arts. We're hopefully going to interview one fella here that is actually into the singing. And there's a whole group of Jehovah's Witnesses that have formed singing. And we'll talk about that. But this is not new to ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. There's a lot of talent coming out of the organization because a lot of this talent has been stifled for years. And Jehovah's Witnesses are not really encouraged to allow their talents to come out. Now, let's go on and talk about the article. It says a former Jehovah's Witness is suing the organization in Philadelphia Common Pleas Court for accountability over abuse she endured as a teen. Today's lead story uncovers details of the lawsuit that shows leaders worked to hide records about it and other instances of abuse. So we're going to talk about this, and you realize that these court cases take years. You know, we're in 2023, and so now the whole state has this massive subpoena, and they can go in and get these records. Well, let's see what happens. Are the records there? And so we go on to talk about it. Sarah Brooks was 15 when two fellow Jehovah's Witnesses, adults, she thought she could trust, started sexually assaulting her. And the abuse would last for more than a year before Brooks broke down and did what children are taught to do if someone harms them. She told her parents. Well, what happened? Well, the parents alerted the witness elders, but were warned that if Brooks contacted the police, that she would be bringing reproach upon Jehovah's name, according to a lawsuit filed in June against the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of New York. So this is not just hearsay, folks. These are lawsuits that are filed, and this is information that is in those records. Other elders who investigated her claims wrote in a public notice that Brooks had been reproved, meaning she'd done something wrong, and repented. Despite being shunned by family members and friends, Brooks moved forward with reporting her abuse to the authorities. That triggered an emergency meeting of the elders in 2013, and they learned that the York County District Attorney's Office would seek records about Brooks' abuse in their investigation. So what happened? Well, here's what happened. In quotations, we bought a shredder, one York elder told others, according to the lawsuit. And headquarters had told us to shred. So here's this elder, and you see the elders aren't going to lie. The elders are honest people. They are taught over and over again not to lie. And we're going to take a look at a Watchtower article about how honest a lot of these elders are. They're just going to tell it the way it is. And because they don't think they're doing anything wrong. The legal department in Bethel, they have lawyers and they know what they're doing. And this is Jehovah's organization. And we do not want to bring reproach upon Jehovah. So here the elder is, they told us to buy a shredder and shred it, shred everything. So that's what we did. He said we bought a shredder, and according to the lawsuit, the headquarters told us to shred everything. Can you believe that? So under more scrutiny, since 2019, Pennsylvania's Attorney General's office has probed the organization's handling of abuse cases. On Friday, the office charged 5 witnesses with assault. 9 other members were arrested in the spring and fall. A spokesman for the witnesses did not directly address the allegations in Brooks' lawsuit, but wrote in a statement that the organization is sickened by the news about abuse. Well, of course, it's all over the news. Jehovah's Witnesses, the organization, they are doing more in hiding and covering up than any of the other religions. The Catholic Church, they at least admitted it. So the Pope. But the Jehovah's Witness organization, they're telling the elders to shred the records. So a spokesman for the witnesses did not directly address the allegations in Brooks' lawsuit, but wrote a statement that the organization is sickened about the news. So continue reading on the culture's rules, of some of which have helped protect predators, and the witnesses' response. So that's it for the news today on any updates with Jehovah's Witnesses, but it's all coming out. The handwriting is on the wall. All of this stuff is no longer hidden. It was now being revealed. Now, let's look at the Watchtower. And I thought, let's give the Watchtower a fair chance here. So I went into the Watchtower publication. I pumped in evidence and shredding evidence. Of course, there's nothing on that. But I did get something on evidence. I got a hit in 1973 on an awake, and it says to examine the evidence. Now, here's what it says. It says, if you were on trial in a court of law, would it be fair if only your opponent was allowed to present evidence? Well, no. You would surely want the court to hear your side of the matter also. For many years, only evolution's side has been heard in colleges, high schools, blah, blah, blah. So they applied this to evolution. But the principle in speaking here is everyone wants a fair chance to have their evidence heard. But here, the Jehovah's Witness legal department, the headquarters, instructed the elders to buy shredders and shred the CSA files. How can you produce evidence now? So it's going to be interesting to see what the district attorney office has to do with this information, how they are going to proceed. And we'll keep you up on that. Now, I just wanted to make one other article. I wanted to look at honesty, and I punched in a lie in court. What do Jehovah's Witnesses think about lying in court? And I'm going to take you to the Watchtower 1985. Honesty makes them different too. So here's this guy, this Jehovah's Witness, and he has to go to court because of some traffic violations. And so he goes to court, and he has the court clerk there, and he's trying to fight his case. So there's, the judge is there, and you can kind of go and fight your own parking tickets, right? So turning to the judge, he said, now who was he said? The court clerk. He says, you have nothing to worry about here, Judge. These are good people. They do not lie. They never lie. They cannot lie. Their religion does not allow it. They hold strictly to it. I have never known any of their men or even their women to tell a lie. They're as honest as you can get. I have seen plenty of times when they could have escaped a parking ticket just by telling a little fib, but they would not do it. And then turning to me, the clerk declared to the Jehovah's Witness, right? And the clerk says to the Jehovah's Witness, I know you would not tell a lie because you know who would roll over in his grave if you did. Who is that? I asked. The judge, Judge Rutherford, one-time president of the Watchtower Society, he answered. I used to deliver mail to him 47 years ago. I knew Jehovah's Witnesses before they grew big. The judge was some man. Now, let's talk about the writing committee at the Watchtower. And it goes on to, it's just all fluff. After all, this court judge did not even bother to swear me in with the oath. He asked me to present my case, which I did. His verdict, not guilty. Jehovah's Witnesses wish to conduct themselves honestly in all things, Hebrews 13 and 18, and their adherence to honesty is one of the many ways that they differ from the whole wide world. Now, for one thing, Judge Rutherford was not even a judge. So that's how I know this story is BS. It's BS from the Watchtower. And we used to believe this crap. But the writing committee, as I learned yesterday on Rick Farron's channel, if you want to watch Barbara Anderson, she was working in the writing committee of the Watchtower. And she says those guys just write what they want. There was so many disputes in Bethel about the writing committee. They'd tell all kinds of lies. Well, this one here I know is a big lie because Judge Rutherford was never a judge. He was a temporary judge twice. And that was part of the curriculum for training lawyers. So lawyers had to kind of fill in and be a temporary judge on a couple of cases. That's part of the legal training at that time. And he was trying to be a lawyer. And soon after, he became the lawyer for Russell. Russell needed a really good lawyer to fight his wife because his wife left him because Russell was having an affair. And so Rutherford got involved, hid all the assets, and that's why the assets got moved to New York from Pennsylvania, is because of Russell's wife. But there's a whole thing there, and it's on our website. If you go to our channel, we have what we call the apostate and his wife, and we talk all about the stories of Russell and Rutherford, and we use court documents. We use these court documents from old court cases fought years and years ago, and they really pull out the truth. But the Watchtower here, it just spells a big lie. Now, could you imagine a court clerk going on and on and on and on, and then on and on and on and on about how wonderful Jehovah's Witnesses are in court? It's never going to happen today, I'll tell you. You know, this was 1985. I don't think it happened then. I think this is a story of fluff. And they make it appear as if it was real. There's no link to any court documents, any court case. There's no link to any judge or any location. And in all the news that we deliver it and show the news from location, from York County in Pennsylvania, where we were talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses and the records getting shredded. Now, honesty is a big thing, and I know a lot of the Jehovah's Witness elders are honest in all things, and they won't lie. Just like in the York County, the district attorney comes in and says, "Where's the records?" And they say, "We shredded them. We were told to shred them." So they're going to tell the truth. Now, this truth is going to lead to the fall of the Watchtower. That's my supposition. I am very interested to see where the district attorney takes this one. So, folks, until next time, keep living your life with love, and then you're automatically always telling the truth. Bye for now.